Guys, welcome to today's video on how to improve your mental health, where I'm going to share 8 strategies that are lifestyle implementation tips that you can use to see significant impact in your mental well-being. And if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Elika. I'm a trusted advisor and energy optimization coach working with entrepreneurs and purpose-driven leaders who want to optimize all of the energy that they have by looking at all aspects of their life that take energy away from them. And on my channel, I share a lot of lifestyle and strategy and support and guidance. My signature program, the Health Concierge, that really works with you to integrate all of these things into your life. And let's jump into today's video. So I've made some notes just to make sure that I go through everything in a systematic way with you, because I could talk about this for hours, but I just like to make sure you've got the most essential points. Now, the first one is obviously your mind is seen as something that is a key asset, and everybody knows that when they think about the brain. But the truth is, the way that we approach it is we approach the brain as something that, because we can't see the damage that we're doing to it, that's something that is secondary. If you think about it, when most people start on their health journey, they think about the physical body. They don't think about the mind and the brain itself. And so more and more, as people are starting to see the impact of the mind on their health and wellness, we are starting to address this. And here is the journey that I went on, from starting from the physical body and looking at things like diet and exercise, to working on the inner world, my inner beliefs, which were really driven by how my mind operates. And if you have the opportunity to start from working on the inside out, I highly recommend you do this. So if you're at the start of your health journey, I think this video is so important to you, because the truth is, if you think about everything through the lens of the mind, the impacts that you will have on everything else will be greater, because it will be easier, because the habits that you create from focusing on the mind first will compound and see the difference. Whereas if you do what I did and then had to figure out, oh my gosh, that wasn't the best way, which is to focus on looking good in your body, losing excess weight, and then going, okay, the reason I can't sustain this is because of my mind, then it's going to take a lot longer. You could do it, but I don't recommend it. So I actually have the first thing here is to upgrade your relationships. Now, why would I say this first when it's related to your mental well-being? Because here's the thing, you are influenced by the people that you spend the most time with. And because we're social creatures from our tribal instincts, we need people to survive. That's whether we like it or not. It's not about whether you're introverted or extrovert. We do need people. We used to call that tribes. Now we call it community or team. But we need people to get anything done. At some point, there is an interaction with somebody else. Now, the thing is, if the people around you have bad habits or they take a lot from your energy, it's going to be really difficult to have great mental well-being. There are some people that you're going to have in your life that are going to give you insights that give you huge amounts of clarity. Hopefully I'm one of them. And that clarity is going to optimize your mental well-being, right? And there are going to be people in your life that you just know that they're on your mind all of the time and not for the right reasons. And that is why they're draining your energy. And that's why upgrading your relationships, being around people that have similar values, have a vision for their life, which is similar to how you have a vision for your life, and let that be the upgraded version of your life, that's who you want to be with. And you can only do that is if you make space for them. So that upgrade of your relationships is really important. The second thing I have is to find joy in your work. Now, this is not about everybody quitting their jobs, but this is about knowing that you have unique gifts that you have been blessed with. And I like to say, and actually this was from a guy that I value so much in my life and my experience, which is Michael Beckwith. And he would say, if you don't do you, no one else will. And that's what I think about when you look at finding joy in your work. It's about, over time, you start to notice that you have strengths. You have things that you're good at, things that people know you for, that play to what you do easily, things that just come naturally to you that don't for others. These are the unique gifts that I like to say that God has given you with. You've been blessed with it. And if you play with these things, you will experience the most joy. Sometimes you're not in a working environment that allows you to play with those. Sometimes you are. You might not need to shift your environment, but what you do need to do is do the things that are predominantly bringing you joy. And for example, I absolutely love what I do, but are there elements of my job that I don't enjoy? Great, yeah, there is. I really don't like looking through my SEO, trawling through all the data and trying to figure out the patterns and then thinking, do I create content based on this pattern or do I create content on what comes to my heart? I don't really like doing that. I just love serving people powerfully. But because the majority of what I'm doing is about just serving people powerfully, those little things that I have to do as part of my job, it's fine. They don't drain away from me. And what I do is if I know it needs to be a key component of my job and it takes a lot of time to do, I actually delegate it to someone. And if it can't be fully delegated, for example, sales, I am the best salesperson in my business. And because for me, sales is telling somebody that really needs my guidance and support what I do and giving them the opportunity to work with me. I think I'm the best person to do that. And so even though my team can support me, their major support is in the collateral and the literature to get that out. So I say this to say, we all are going to have elements of our job that are not the things that we enjoy the most. But if predominantly the thing that you are doing in your job brings you joy, then that is going to be brilliant for your mental well-being. Because I see so many people that want to get on the health kick and they want to change their diet up and they want to exercise and do these things that they're told to have good mental well-being, which is a part of it. But at the end of the day, if they spend 30 to 40 hours a week in a job that does not bring them joy, all of those things that they're doing, which are probably doing it bad as a side effect of not having joy in their role, is not going to help them. And the other thing that I've noticed, which is confidence, which is a key part of feeling like you've got good mental well-being, feeling confident in your body, confident in what you do, confidence in how you speak. A key part of confidence is actually by knowing what you're here to do. I don't think I've ever met someone that absolutely is super clear on what their purpose is, what they're here to do, that isn't confident. So what does that tell you? That tells you about bringing joy into what you do, having a good sense of clarity over what that is. That's going to bring a lot of well-being to your mind. And that's actually why I love human design. And if you haven't had a human design reading through me or reached out to me to learn more of that, check that out. I will make sure there's a human design link in the comments box below, or you can go directly to my website, 𝐩𝐿ika.co, and go under purpose, and you will see that there is the human design readings there. And I love it because it is a roadmap to your most authentic self. It shows you what your unique gifts are by the body graph that explains your energy body. It tells you who you are here to serve and what it is you're supposed to serve to them. And I think we all benefit from having that level of clarity about who we are. So check out Human Design on my website for readings around that if you've not. Okay, the third one is improve your nutrition. Now, I actually know that most people think they need to go to this first, and I understand arguably why that is, but I don't think it's more important than actually your relationships, because the right relationships will make sure that you eat well. So when you are thinking about nutrition, what you want to think of is every single mammal has a diet, and a human being has a diet that every single cell, organ, muscle, tissue in your body is designed for it to be supported by that diet. And there is a diet that we call whole foods that's minimally processed, where food is what I say is growing or moving or in the waters in nature that we are designed to eat. And there is a diet that is made from man and machine for our convenience that is not food, it's a food product. And when you focus on eating whole foods and not processed foods, you are going to be eating the diet that you as a human species is designed to eat. And so your brain will work optimally. Now, understanding that over 60% of your brain is made from fats, there is healthy fats that are really required for the brain to function. And my favorite version of that is MCT, medium chain triglycerides. This is a fat molecule, medium chain, that crosses across something that we call the blood-brain barrier. And what that allows you to do is feed the brain with the right fuel for it. So also your oils, think about that as a healthy fat. If you stay away from those processed seed oils and you think of more of the traditional oils that for thousands and thousands of years, the fats that we've cooked with. So that can be extra virgin olive oil. That can be like coconut oil, especially in Asia. Sesame oil, the cold pressed versions. It can be the fats from the meat, right? Like ghee instead of butter, which is a clarified butter. The lard, that, you know, these are the traditional fats and oils that we cooked with. And these will provide the brain with essential fuel that it needs. And we much want to do that rather than using the sugars as energy. And if you focus on eating real food, the human being's food, and not the processed version and food products, you will do that. My fourth one is sleep. Now, the brain actually has a process that it goes through where it's a bit like a jet wash, where fluid is released and your brain goes through a cleaning process where new memories are formed and existing memories that are created are stored. And in order to have that process, you need to have good quality sleep. Good quality sleep looks like 7 to 9 hours on average for an adult. And so many people take 6 hours of sleep, 5 hours sleep, not realizing that doing cellular damage to their body. And in addition to that, their brain cannot repair. Their brain doesn't get that crucial time in order to start that process going. And so the side effects of that can be memory issues, cognitive issues, anxiety, depression, all of these ailments as a part of not allowing your brain to have the rest that any machine would require. And it's not even a machine. So sleep is a key part of our mental well-being to restore and to create that optimal cognitive function. So number 5 is hydration. Hydrate. Water, water, water. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So our body is made of 70% of water. So every cell, in order for it to function, needs water. We need to be hydrated. Just look at a plant that's not been watered. What do you notice? A plant without water starts to shrivel. Think about your brain without the liquid that it needs for cellular function. So hydration is what's going to allow the nutrients that you eat to be transported to the right place. It's going to allow the cells to be able to function because they have that liquid support that they need. And water needs to be clean, filtered water. And so many of us are living or operating in places where the water is either passed through. For example, we have really great water in Singapore. They use a process called osmosis, but it's also passed through old pipes, and old pipes still have rust. Other people don't have the water cleaning process that we have, but we all can have access to filtered water. And honestly, the truth is everyone that's watching this video probably doesn't have a problem with getting access to water. So it's just the upgrade to having a source of good, clean, filtered water. And obviously making sure that you consume enough of it, which, you know, for me in the tropics, that's 3 litres a day. And, you know, when I used to live in the UK, you know, I was pushing for 2 litres, and I know so many people that don't do that. They don't hit the required amount of water every day. And so you diet, you do all these things, but you're not even consuming the water that your body needs to do something with all those things that you're doing, the exercise, the nutrients. So on the 6th one on the list that I have is sunshine. I love the sun. I am like a sun worshipper, by the way. The sun is our most powerful energy source. The sun is particularly healing for everything in nature, but for humans before the hours of 10 and after the hours of 4 p.m. Being scared of the sun, which is something that I have to listen to every day in Asia, is ridiculous. It means that one of the very sources that makes us human, the ability to absorb the energy from the sun, to allow the sun to provide us with the vitamin D, which regulates our immune system, regulates our biology, the circadian rhythm, the internal clock that we have that allows our hormones and our bodily functions to operate in the right way. The sun helps us with this. So we cannot be afraid of the sun. We have to learn how to live with the sun and to ensure we're getting enough sunlight. Sunscreen, we're now starting to show scientifically the harmful effects of the sunscreen because we have different rays, right? We have UVA and UVB. And so when we're too busy filtering out the very sun rays that tells us, that it burns our skin to tell us, okay, you've had enough, so you know. But when we're too busy blocking that out, how do we know when we've had enough? How do we know, okay, yeah, we might not get the skin burnt, but we're still getting the harmful rays, but we don't know that we've had enough. So with those skin creams, I'm not even going to go into some of the chemicals that are in those, the harmful chemicals and the side effects of those. But this way of living where we're scared of the sun and we're constantly trying to protect ourselves from having any sun is not natural for a human being. And so we have to be careful with the sun because it's so powerful. We have to choose optimal times for humans to be in the sun. We have to know how long to be in the sun, which is why our skin burns when it's too much. But we don't need to be afraid of the sun, the energy and the fuel of the sun. And so what we find is, and we see this in particular in countries that have very little sun, or when they go through, like I remember in the UK, how depressing it was in winter. Actually, it was depressing all the time because of the grey clouds. What was I missing? I was missing seeing the sun beam onto those clear blue skies. The sunshine creates a happiness, that release of the serotonin, the feel-good hormone, that feeling that everybody gets when they get together because the weather is great and all the oxytocin that's produced in that. This is some of the side effects of the sun that is brilliant for our mental well-being. So please make sure that sunshine is one of your habits. Our seventh on the list is nature. Now, if you watch me, especially if you watch me over my Instagram, I am a huge nature lover. And what makes me sad is that we have to say nature, but nature is our natural habitat. Concrete buildings is not our natural habitat. So when we say we've got to go to nature, what we actually mean is we've got to go home, because that is our true environment. We've just built man-made constructs into it so that we can live in shelter, but we've forgotten that we are designed to be cohabitating with our environment, which is outside. And so when they study the sounds of nature, the colours of nature, they find that they're very calming to the human nervous system. The colours of nature into your eyes, what that helps to do, the sounds, those frequencies that come from nature, like the water and the whistle of the wind, these are really calming. When you put your feet in soil and you feel the magnetic force of the ground that grounds your body, balances out the ions in your body, this magnetic force that grounds you and creates harmony in your body, all from nature. We are designed to be living outside. And so if you are avoiding being outside, if you are not spending much time in your natural habitat, how can your mental well-being be well? How can you have the peace of mind, the clarity and the harmony in your mind that comes from being in the habitat that you were designed to thrive in? So the last one, some of you will be surprised it's last, and that's part of the problem, is exercise. Now, I want to say that exercise is fantastic for mental well-being. And I actually want to say it's not the best for weight loss. That's nutrition. It's actually the best for mental well-being. When you exercise, you are moving the energy, the stuck and the stagnant energy through the body. You're using that lymphatic system to get that going, to get everything moving and purged out of the body. When you sweat, by using that lymphatic drainage that the body naturally provides through exercise, stimulating that detox process by sweating, you're releasing all those toxins. When you exercise, there are there are neurotransmitters that are released from your mind that create this sense of peace. So you all know that kind of serotonin. I also get a dopamine hit from like a good workout, right? But also there's a peace and a tranquility that we get from just long walks in our natural habitat, nature. So getting the body moving, and I like to say that please don't underestimate the power of the one exercise that we're all being designed to do, and we've done for thousands of years of human creation, which is walking. But get that body moving, get that circulation going, get that drainage and those toxins out of the body, and you will see that your mind has so much more clarity, that the problems that create stress for you, by going for a good walk whilst thinking, that energy exchange from brain to body, that is what's going to give you a lot of mental well-being. And so that concludes my 8 ways that you can improve your mental health. And I hope that that's been really useful. And if you think that there's somebody that would really benefit from these 8 tips, please share this video with them. And if you want to use me as a guide, your trusted advisor and guide, to help you to optimize your energy so that you can use that excess energy to make an impact to everything you want to do to support humanity, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love that. And leave a comment in the comments box below if you have any questions or anything you would like to share on today's insights.